Owen, a disappointing afternoon. Your thoughts on the match?
Yeah, I think any game that we lose we're certainly disappointed by, probably today frustrated by. Obviously started the game really well, scored a very well taken goal, and then, I mean, I need to sit back, but I thought it was a clear foul on Cal at the first goal. Foul has not been given, and then obviously a minute later, you know, we make a terrible error. We find ourselves 2-1 down, which can happen. But the bit I'm looking for then is that reaction to that, you know. And I felt like, if I'm honest, the rest of that half, it kind of passed us by in respect of, you know, landing the second balls and playing, kind of lost our rhythm. That can happen. You get a punch in the nose, but you just back down, you get back to what you're doing. Spoke at half time, and, you know, all intents and purposes, like to come out and make a big start. And of course, we concede then from a corner. We get the first header in, Cal makes a very good save, and then we're not alive to alert enough to the rebound, which we're always speaking about. So find ourselves 3-1 down, and then made a number of changes to find a way back into the game, which we did. And I've got to say, I mean, the last 30 minutes of the game, it was just waves of attack. It was, you know, Morton trying to hang on to what they had, score a good goal, get ourselves back in 3-2, and then obviously with some, you know, decent getting in behind them opportunities. The keeper had one or two good saves that you'd expect them to make, and that's the wee bit, you know, when we're having that dominance in terms of late on, it's making sure that that final pass is a good enough pass to set the chance. We're in good positions, we slipped a couple of times, and you know, for all the attacking intent and everything that we had, we just couldn't find an equaliser, which, you know, given the circumstances would have been a great point. So yeah, it's a sore one today, no getting away from that. Again, our fans were brilliant, keeping us going right to the last second. Thank you for that. It's very much appreciated, and we just feel that, you know, that we never got to the level that we're capable of today. And then, you know, you can't roll up to Capitos and places like this and have 4 or 5 players giving good performances, and, you know, 5 or 6 out of sorts. You'll not win games at this level, and I felt that's what happened today. So we have to look at that, which we will, analyse that thoroughly, go through it, learn the lessons from it, and make sure that we bounce back quickly, because there's an awful lot to play for. You know, what these boys have done has been remarkable to this point, but, you know, we can't hide away from it. You know, it wasn't today, and it needs to be better when you come to tough venues like this. And so there's certainly a learning experience from that, absolutely.
I just spoke to Tommy there before you, and there's a clear disappointment from defensive perspective, the manner in which we lost the goals for the majority of the season. That's really been unlike us. Yeah, I would agree with that, but we've come away from home, we've conceded 3 goals, and you know, all credit to Morton. They're a very hard working side with some good quality players in their team. But, you know, if we look at the goals, you know, the first one, you know, we've got to accept it was a free kick, and Cal should never have stood. And then, not that it might have made any difference to the game, but we had 4 minutes of added time on, and there was, I think there must have been 7 or 8 substitutes in the game. The countless times that, you know, the ball went out, Morton were in no rush, which I understand because they're playing the game down and managing the game. But that's when, you know, the officials need to be accountable and say, well, hold on, that'll be 7 or 8 minutes or whatever it is, because, you know, it's far too easy to say, well, we'll play 3.5 or 4 minutes when the substitutes alone account for that time, never mind the stoppages. But that might not have affected the result, but obviously there's a source of frustration, because at that time we were very dominant, pushing on, looking to get an equaliser, and it never came. We've already shown this season, when we've faced the odd game where it's not went our way, we're more than capable of bouncing back. How important is it we look to do that, a good week's training ahead of next week's fixture? Yeah, absolutely. That's what we need to do. I mean, you do 1 or 2 things, I always say. You get up in the morning, you feel sorry for yourself, or you're prepared to do something about it. And we know this group of players, they'll be hurting because they know they fell below the level that they're capable of doing. They're very honest, they're very conscientious, but, you know, we need to bring that. We can't think, you know, after the event, I always say that, whatever you've got, leave it in the field. And if somebody's better than us on the day, then we'll accept that. But when we go below what we're capable of, that's the bit that leaves a little taste in your mouth. So we have to bounce back quickly, which we'll look to do, and kick on from there. I mean, you know, the amount of games we've had, a lot of the games away from home as well. That's why it's been, you know, fantastic to come here and get the result. But we've let it pass us by, so we need to pick ourselves up quickly and go again. Thanks for your time, Owen.
Pleasure as always, thank you.